Hello, it's 2 weeks since we last had a look at the plants and it's time to see what progress they've made. The courgettes are growing, the broccoli's growing, the lettuce is growing, the cucumbers are growing, the tomatoes are growing. They're looking a little bit like they're getting too hot. I'll just have to see what Google and my neighbour Jim have to say about that. And everything's looking quite good on the greenhouse side. I also have been growing herbs and other plants outside. I'm going to show you them now. This is the beginnings of my herb garden in a flagged area. And they're doing okay. Not the time, but I can replant that one. These are my raised beds that my lovely husband built for me. I've planted potatoes in them and they're just beginning to come up. The reason they have netting on is the first time I grew potatoes and some other plants with the children at the library. The gulls and other birds ate them before we could get very far. These are my garlic, my onions and my spinach and kale bed. I've discovered it's not just Google who can help. Once I've had my raised beds on the front of the house, I've been getting lots of informal and delightful advice from some of my neighbours. Here's one of the many pieces of advice I got. It was some little tomato plants with Cherry Tom Cerise written on it. They're planted in the greenhouse with the ones I grew. My neighbour Jim told me how to take cuttings. So you'll see here some cuttings from the rosemary bushes in front of them, because apparently they die after a few years, something I didn't know. So I finally had some success with that. Here's my rhubarb and gooseberry patch. Last year the birds managed to eat all the leaves off the gooseberry bushes and they failed, so we are trying again. A kind neighbour gave me a strawberry plant last winter and I've grown it over the winter and split it into all these plants here and hoping to have a crop this year. Here's my new apple tree planted in the garden. The bees already love her and she's called Sybil. And here's my project at the back of the library before I began. As you can see, it's a lovely big area of land and the views it looks over are wonderful. And I hope to show you in my next film how I'm going on with that.